Pledge, and Ms. Odom, if you'd lead us in the pledge, I would very much appreciate it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, this is our first of our budget readings, and I suppose now I turn the gavel over to the superintendent, or don't even
Yes,
need to turn the gavel over?
No, I don't need the gavel.
Let me turn my phone off, sorry.
Okay, today, July 21st, 2015, in accordance with Section 200.065, Chapter 1010 and Chapter 1011 Florida statutes, I am submitting the proposed tentative balanced budget for 2015-16 and am recommending the millage to be levied. The purpose of today's meeting is to approve the 2015-16 proposed tentative budget and proposed millage for advertising, and to set the date, time, and place of the first public hearing on our budget, July 30th, 2015, 5:05 p.m., School Board Meeting Room, Putnam County School District Administration Building, 200 Reed Street, Palatka, Florida.
Thank you. Ms. Odom?
I really hate having to call people together for this short of a meeting, but I could make it longer since
No.
Mr. Buckles likes to hear from
No,
me so
I have
much.
to go back to work.
But it is, this is strictly just to advertise the budget. We have to follow the trim guidelines and request approval to advertise the tentative balanced budget in the newspaper. I think you were given handouts this morning. Those first 3 pages are actually what will be placed in the newspaper. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm never very good about having that right where it's supposed to be. So actually, the ones that will be in the paper are the one-page summarized budget, the notice of budget hearing, and the notice of school capital outlay. This notice of school capital tax outlay mentions that we are again proposing the 1.5 mills for capital outlay purposes, and advertises how we might possibly spend this money with the 1.5 mills. You'll also notice that we're doing a notice of proposed budget hearing instead of the notice of proposed tax increase, because we are again proposing a millage rate that is lower than our rollback rate. As you can see from the one-page summary ad, our current operating budget, which is the first column, is $90.5 million, and our entire budget, which includes NEFAC, internal and enterprise funds, is $173 million. As the general fund is the main operating fund of the district, I want to call your attention to the sheet where it shows that we have a June 30th year-end fund balance, which is right here, $5.4 million. And I've provided you with an explanation of the general fund balance handout that shows how that is broken down. We have a reserve for project balances within Fund 100, which are state and local projects that have strings attached of $1.3 million. We have a reserve for encumbrances, that's carryover purchase orders, money already spoken of $209,000. We have a reserve for inventory, which is of course not a cash item, but it's inventory on hand of $478,000. We've got the 3% mandate left over from last year, and that was $2.1 million, and we had an unreserved cash fund balance, a rollback to the general fund pot after all expenditures were posted for the year, of $1.2 million. After we've incorporated this fund balance and included all budgeted revenues and expenditures, you will see at the bottom of the page that I'm estimating a $3.6 million June 30th, 2016 year-end fund balance.
Ronnie, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Do you expect that our mandatory holdback's going to increase this year? Or
No.
You've not been?
No, it will stay at 3%. That's already been determined, yes, sir.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay. Our budgeted reserves, you'll see in this little handout that the same ones that I do every year, the McKay scholarships, the prior year FTE audit, and that's when each year we're audited on our FEFP, student transportation, teacher certification, and such. I've set aside a reserve for FTE shortfall in case our numbers come in lower than DOE is currently showing them. There's no current potential audit paybacks as we've been cleared of all those findings. I've also budgeted for a reserve of proration of funds because we just got the second calculation yesterday, and Putnam was docked already over $20,000 for their first proration. That's because when they set the budget, if they have more students statewide than what they had originally budgeted for, they have to also fund those students. So each district's, their funding is cut slightly. So I've got a reserve set aside for that. And also, though it's not required today, I provided you with the millage handout. Our millage rate, you'll see the first page is just the rollback rate, but on the second page, you'll see that our millage rate for 2015-2016 is 6.924 mils. That's 0.28 mils less than last year, and the entire decrease is in the required local effort, and that's the amount that's set by the legislature in order for us to receive the $50 million of state funds that we receive. They tell us what the millage rate is that we have to set. And you'll also see on the third page of that handout that if a person home value remains the same as last year, let's say $100,000, that they'll pay $21 less in school property taxes.
That'll make people happy.
And that will make people happy because I've seen in the paper several others are going up on their millage. So, the school district is actually being lowered. So, they'll fuss out something else.
Saved your money.
Now, at the first public hearing, which is next Thursday at 5:05, we can go in greater detail on the budget, function, object, cost centers. I'll provide more detailed printout so you can see where everything is being proposed to be spent. You'll have a chance at that meeting to amend the budget as you see fit, and at that meeting, we'll also set the time and place for the final, the second public hearing, which is the final, and that's usually in September. And we have to follow trim guidelines. They give us the span of dates that we can use and everything, and we get first choice at all the dates, and the other taxing authorities have to, set theirs after we've got ours set. So really today, all we needed to do is seek permission to advertise the proposed budget, these 3 pages, in the newspaper. I'll take it by today, and they'll have it published on Saturday, which will give enough times with the trim guidelines on how many days the public has to have it before we have the first public hearing. And basically, that's all I have right now, and just get permission to advertise. But I'm open to any questions, and my door's open if y'all have got questions before the first public hearing.
This is amazing to me. Oh.
I was just curious because I thought we usually do it at the first meeting in August, but is that something we have to do on a Thursday? I didn't know if the time.
Statutory time.
Statutory
Okay,
time, yes.
okay.
Yeah, we always have to schedule these. Now, I do have the second one scheduled on an actual board date, but it's almost every time. This meeting and the first is an extra meeting.
I understand.
Well, I would love to commend you and the superintendent and the whole staff. This
Absolutely.
is really, it's starting to bounce back, and we're starting to see some light.
Yeah.
I even think your estimate for next year's ending fund balance, you've probably been very cautious on that and not projecting. And that's very wise. Madam Superintendent, I certainly, unless anybody's got a lot more questions, I'm ready to advertise.
Me too.
I think you'd need to do a roll call to make it official.
Yeah,
I
just,
will do that.
District.
I thought the superintendent did it, but I'm just thinking a long time ago.
I can do it if you'd
Oh,
like.
the board attorney used to do it.
Yeah.
yeah, the board attorney did it.
I think this is
To
simply
advertise.
advertised.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
everyone.
roll call vote. District 1,
Advertise.
District 2,
Advertise.
District 3. I was District 2.
Advertise. We both advertise.
District 4,
She's not here.
Absent.
District 5.
Advertise.
Thank you very much.
Ms.
We'll get it in
Odom,
the
please
paper.
advertise.
I will do so. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, and
Please do, and thank you for all of your
thank you, Ms.
and your
Crystal.
staff's hard work.
Charlie did email me. I said, no, I didn't think you had to come. So
Texted me as
Okay,
well,
good.
and I told him no, he didn't.
Okay.
He
That
didn't
really doesn't
think he
take a
could
roll
get
call
here,
vote,
and I told him not to worry about it.
That's
He'd
what
need
I
to be
was.
at the next
I was
one.
like, I hope I didn't misspeak, but I
Yeah.
think he didn't
No.
need to.
Well, this will, unless
Okay.
I'm concluding the meeting, thank you.